Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. First race for me for week 7, late model open series, a little bit of a later start to it. I had some stuff going on and again trying to practice before I feel better with stuff. Don't think I've got the driving down real well for what's optimal for the setup, but I at least feel like I can repeat a little bit. Thought this was going to be a good time to race, unfortunately found a race with only 7 cars in total. So hopefully there'll be something decent. It looks like everybody's kind of spread out on pace, so it might not be a very good race for you guys, but we'll see. Gonna go out and qualify. Car number 3 out of 7. Don't know, I didn't happen to look and see what the strength of field was before I logged in, so probably not going to be a very strong field at all, I would not expect. So we'll see if this even gets aired. May end up showing you guys something different if this isn't very good, because last thing I want is a boring race where we just all end up running on our own and it's 40 laps of practice effectively, which is, you know, entertaining for myself. That's what I need, and I guess a good way to come back, but obviously for you guys not very fun to watch. So let's see what we can do. First lap was a little shaky there through 1 and 2.
P3, that lap time was
qualified 3rd right now, which is where I was in terms of the pace on practice. And we'll see if we can get anything out of lap 2. Typically, lap 1 has always been faster for me in this qualifying setup. Again, these will both be available on Team Goon Squad's website if you want to grab them. I know it's pretty late in the week, so most people probably won't, but definitely support me. It'd be great to grab that if you'd like to, and it'll be out there. So slightly slower the second lap, not bad. A little bit faster than what I ran in practice. About 3/10 off. It's kind of almost the way it lined up in practice, honestly. We went 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of the cars. The 5, 6, and 7 cars didn't turn times, you can see, but not terribly far off. We're almost kind of lining up where we should. So maybe I'll have a little bit of long run pace to try to get to the 2 car, or I'll be able to get by them on the start. Looks like I probably won't have anything for the 1. I think, again, it's one of those where it's more in the driver and myself than it is the actual race setup and qualifying setup, so I think I'm just not utilizing, you know, everything I can. So it seems like I'm finding, as some of you I know have commented before on other series, that I'm just driving in too hard, getting off the throttle a little too late, getting on the brakes a little too hard,
I don't know how you're getting those times.
and you know, it's causing me to lose a lot of pace overall. So I may experiment with that at the race if I end up finding gaps and spread out. Not sure. Get paints refreshed here.
Thanks, Kyle.
Try to see what everybody, see if everything's loaded up. Alright, looks like we should be probably good. So we'll get loaded in. Hopefully 40 laps again, standard. Late model open series stuff, no fixed or 1 fast repair. You can do tires if you want it. No cautions. Yeah, it's all standard oval stuff if you haven't seen any of this before. So just see what we can do. Alright, get the car fired up right away. Second gear start. I probably running a slightly different line than most people. I am diamonding the 1 and 2 side, just pretty standard for here. Although the difference in me, I am not running the apron. I find the way I built the setup and the way that I prefer to drive it, I run better when I get it right down to the white line and then come up. 3 and 4, I'm actually kind of just late apexing, sort of similar to what I was doing. I had Myrtle Beach for 1 and 2, kind of that idea. Stand out a little bit later, and then just kind of to bringing it down in the late apex out of 4 to try to lengthen the front stretch out as much as possible. So I tried diamonding and then 3 and 4, and it always was a 1/10 and a half or 2/10 slower, and I didn't like the feel of it at all. So biggest thing for me, especially as the race goes on and the tires wear a little bit, is to just wait a little bit longer in the center of the corners off throttle, let the car rotate, and then get back on the throttle. So see if we can get a jump, try to get to the inside of the E2 if possible, and maybe we'll have the pace to be able to pick up second from him and hold that the rest of the race. Finish one spot ahead of where we should, but just see what he can do. Looks like maybe some contact between the 7 and the 2. To start the race out, 7 was definitely digging to get what he could. Don't expect to be able to hang with the 1, but just gonna do what I can.
P2.
Again, gonna try to work on, if I have the gap, a little bit of an earlier brake, lighter brake pressures, and then being able to pick up the throttle a little bit earlier. So looks like the 1's diamonding through 3 and 4 as well as 1 and 2. He's just gone. So hopefully he can hold everybody off. 2 was able to get back by the 7.
That was a 20.40.
See what I can do.
Just done a 20.
Car feels really balanced. Might give up just a little bit more than I wanted it to, but I think it's actually still really good. Again, you know, not making these crazy loose for the absolute optimal race setup, trying to make it way faster than the iRacing ones, but still very drivable for the masses. And clearly, yeah, after what I said from the Xfinity race, I am not one of the optimal drivers, so I need that balance as well. So I feel like the setup, again, really can outperform what I do with it. I think if anybody else is a far better driver than me, you'll see a lot of time out of it, and I hope to be able to learn a lot more and find a lot more time out of it just from a driving standpoint as well.
0.88.
See how close we can stick to the 1. Gap's 1.1 back to the 2. We'll see if he starts closing in at all.
That lap was a 20.
Kind of tucked a little too low into 1 that time. Hurt me a little bit there on the exit. But not bad overall. Just trying to get into a groove and start clicking off clean laps. Gaps are holding pretty constant between us top 3, so
That was a 20.32.
doing a little bit more than what I expected with the 1. This qualifying setup just must be that much better, but we'll see. I don't know, we might pull away later on in the race. Kind of enter a little too shallow that time into 3. It's going to hurt the drive off of turn 4. But gaps are still holding pretty constant. Seems like it's just a battle between the 3 of us. 5 has fallen. Well, the 5's gotten into 4th. The 7's fallen back all the way to 5th.
The gap in front is now 1.00.
Bit of a moment there between the 1 and the 4. I just overshoot the corner. Lost a little bit of time to the 2, lost a little bit of time to the 1 as well.
Behind is now 0.
Try to find a way around the 4 as soon as I can. It's not going to affect us too much. He's just not going to get out of the way. I don't really know why. Try to cut underneath him here out of turn 4, see if I can get him into turn 1.
Still there. Clear.
No idea why he's running so hard. We'll see if that presents a problem for the 2 as well as he cuts back down. Yeah, looks like that might do the same thing. So lost a lot of time into the 1 there in that exchange. But you hear the 2 jumping on the radio saying something about it. I just chose not to say anything to him. I don't want to be toxic on the radios with anybody. He was able to dive by him a lot quicker. Looks like the 4 might have gotten out of the way. So 2 gets the best deal out of it compared to the 1 and I. Don't know if I'll be able to make up that time back to the 1 or if we'll run the same pace. If I can keep it at 1.4 and 0.8 the rest of the race, I'll be happy with that.
Last lap time was
Meant that I had the same pace as them. Got a little too hot there into turn 1. Need to back the braking up just a little bit. Avoid sliding the car on entry. Enter a little shallow that time into turn 3. Not quite as bad as a few laps ago, but still a bit shallow. 2's gaining on me a little bit.
You've just done a 20.56.
Yeah, feeling like I'm starting to overdrive the car in the center, lose a little bit of time that way. Didn't quite cut in as early into turn 1 as I wanted. So he's definitely got a good pace, and the 1's starting to pull away, so looking like a 3rd place car, but 2's going to have to find a way around me. I'm not just going to lay over and give it to him. Gonna do the best that I can to hold him off without being dirty. Maybe by some chance we'll be able to draw back in towards the 1.
Okay, Jake, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Approaching the start of lap 16 this time by, so getting closer to halfway, but still very early on in the race. Plenty of time to go. Really starting to drive bad now, give up time to both cars. Just gotta focus on my marks, my inputs, not on what everybody else is doing. I think you're gonna see the two try to use the apron if he's gonna try to get by me. Just gonna have to watch out for that he slides up. Didn't let the car slide up quite as much as I wanted to. Use the apron a little too much there. Kind of gets the car a little too loose on exit. I cut in way too early into turn 3. Kills the runoff. Lap time's still faster overall, but really bad 3 and 4.
You've just done a 20.58.
Losing a lot of time to the 1 now. It's kind of stabilizing a little bit with the 2. A little bit slower that time through 3 and 4. Felt like I drove it better, but I think I just slowed it down a bit too much. Hopefully, I won't be abusing the right front quite as bad, and maybe be able to stabilize the lap times a little bit, and I'll fall off quite as bit in terms of my relative lap times. Pick up a little bit of time, get the wall, just driving it a bit too hard out of 4. Stupid mistake allows the 2 to close back up quite a bit. He's going to try to work to our inside off of turn 2. Like I said, he was going to go to the apron. That was going to be the best way that he could. Probably going to have to give a bunch of time to the 1 now and start defending in the bottom a little more. It's going to be the best thing for the 1 to see. Not that he was probably ever worried about the 2 of us, but...
Alright, Jake, that's half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
Halfway through, 20 down, 20 to go. Just got to put that mistake a couple laps ago behind me.
Thank you.
Catching the 6 soon. See if we can get by him a little bit better than we did the 4. Still just watching for the 2, hopefully. He'll give us some respect and not try to slide up into us and door us in the middle of 1 and 2. That's where he chooses to make the move. See if we can get inside of the 6 on the front stretch. It just pulls to the left side and stays low, lets us by, thank you to him. 2 dives it in like I thought. See if we can get the race down the front or the back stretch into 3. If he keeps working that maneuver, he's gonna work us and get by, but try to do the best I can to defend against it. May modify my line a little bit to force him a little bit lower. Got 2 slow cars here, both the 7 and the 5. 7's a little loose there into turn 3. Gonna have to tiptoe around these 2 as best as I can while trying to fend off the 2. 2 may see this as an opportunity to try to get to my inside and pin me behind one of them. Trying to work, pinch him down without making contact. I'm sure eventually he's gonna get tired of it and we'll put the bumper to us. I have to try to see how I can get around the 7 here. He goes high, thank you to him.
That was a 20.80.
Watch out for the 5 who comes across the track. I didn't think he was going to come all the way down like that. I thought I would be clear to get to his inside off of 2. Didn't know he was going to cut that far across. Allows me a little bit of breathing room from the 2.
Your lap time was
2 dives it in pretty hard. It's going to hopefully help us drive off, but I have to lift because I picked the throttle a little too early. No lap traffic in front. Clear sights, just got to hope that I can hold off the 2. He's continuing to drive it in tougher or deeper. Slides up. Doing a good job at least staying off of us, though. Just trying to let the car rotate. Pick it up so I can get the best run off the corner as possible. See if he's able to finish it off this time. Able to get a little bit of a better run off of 2 this time compared to him. Open up the gap just a little bit. Overshot 3 just a little bit, but not too bad. Not sure if he's choosing to lay back a little bit or if his car's starting to give up a little bit. He overdrives one big time. But I got a little loose off of 2, so not able to take full advantage of it and pull away. I have 10 to go this time by. At least getting to see a good battle between the two of us for second.
20.74.
I was thinking it was going to be pretty tough for me to hold on to this one. I thought he was a little bit faster than me. I just got the benefit of starting on the inside row. A little bit of right rear contact out of turn 2, driving it pretty hard. Allowed the 2 to pull
You've
up.
just done a 20.82.
Overdrove one big time. You can see how much I slid there. Now I'm focusing too much on him instead of focusing on my marks. Move the brake bias back as far as I can. Trying to get the car slowed down a little bit. It's going to dive to the inside.
Clear on the inside.
It's up the throttle a little too early. Try to stay high and fight him off through 3 and 4 if I can.
Still there.
Certainly going to put me at a disadvantage.
Keep it steady. Still there. Clear inside.
Let's see. If I couldn't pull from him on the front stretch, we were going to have a bad spot to be in going into 1. We're still going to be in a bad spot this time coming off at 2, but trying to do what I can.
Brad, what are you doing, dude? Really?
That was the bumper I was expecting. I tried to control it.
Sorry, Jacob. I mean, can't you see I'm catching you? I thought you were like
I don't
2 seconds back.
think he meant it. I don't know. I heard a sorry, but I don't know. I know he was frustrated with me. I told you guys it was going to happen at some point, so
The gap to Boudreaux in
I don't know.
front
We'll
is
take a
now
look at it and see what
1.27.
happened. But I mean, 3rd place is where we're supposed to finish, regardless. So, not a bad result if that's what ends up being. Which we're, you know, a full lap ahead of 4th. So,
You should be able to leave here with 0x.
not much I can complain about. Thankfully, it wasn't a bad enough contact to give us any incident points. So,
I don't know if you know that or not.
4 to go. Dumb move by me, brushing the wall. Overdrive 1 there, able to save it. Probably had it saved, and I think I overcorrected a little bit too much there, but you know, glad I was able to keep it off the wall. Knew it was coming. It's just a matter of when. Overdriving 1 again. See what the 4 is going to do. Clearly, sounded like based on the radios, he gave the leader problems again. See if we can get by him as cleanly as possible. We're not going to be able to get back to the 2.
2 laps left. Come on. You're looking good for a podium. The gap to Boudreaux ahead is now 1.38. P3.
Just trying to watch what the 4 is going to do to see where I can get by him as quickly
Right
as
side.
possible. He goes high out of 4,
Clear high.
able to clear him. Thank you to him.
I wonder why there's only like 7 cars.
Okay, Jake. 1 more to go. Keep it together. We'll be on the
It's a
podium.
much better
Your lap time was
job getting around in this time. He did a lot better than the first time we caught him.
Ah, that's right.
Jacob, man, my intent is definitely
Well
not
done.
to
Decent
be
drive.
hopefully it's a short track race. We'll check out the replay and feel kind of bad about that one, eh? My bad.
No problem. I knew it was hard racing. You're all good. At least I was able to keep it off the wall, so all good. Appreciate the 2 cents and the apology.
Brett, are you racing with a controller or what?
No big deal. We'll watch the replay there and see what happened. I gonna hope that the 2 is being honest, that it wasn't intentional. Take a look and see what happened. It was this next lap, but yeah, I mean, he'd been diving in all the way to the yellow line, which I expected. Like I said, the setup in the car, my driving style didn't like going down that low. I was trying to inch a little bit lower to kind of block it a little bit, but not, you know, anything too bad. Got to my inside, I was trying to pinch him without, you know, coming down too much. Just trying to stall his run out. Was able to clear him that time out of 4 without, again, doing too much. Gave me a little bit of a shot there, kind of sent me up, but wasn't able to get underneath me to work it. He gets a little loose there off of turn 2, so we get the run going down the backstretch into turn 3. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was my fault for overreacting on it. You can see coming into the braking zone, he's probably about a car length back or so. And we're into the braking zone. He had clearly been diving it in deeper than I had, you know, as he was catching me. So I kind of, I don't know, was trying to take that late apex. I probably should have blocked the bottom a little bit better, and it might have been just a square shot instead. But he gets to me, and you can see the contact right there. His left rear kind of sends it a little loose, and I was trying to drive through it as best as I could, and then that's where I had too much right wheel, and it just snapped across. And then at that point, I was trying to keep it out of the wall, so bailed on the gas, got back on the brakes, tried to control it, and was at least able to drive it away. So that at least kept me in third because we had a full lap, so there was no reason to risk, you know, trying to stay in the throttle and keep it going and risk spinning out. If I had done that, we would have been losing laps and we would have been dropping further back. So rather salvage a third place finish, have that, than you know, do it. I don't know. I mean, maybe a bit of overdriving on his part. I mean, I definitely understand he was a lot, you know, he was for the most part faster. So it's I guess, you know, short track racing. I think he just probably didn't judge it quite as well as he should have, and got into the back of me. And like I said, if I had been defending and been a little bit lower to start, probably would have just sent me, you know, more straight along the lines rather than kind of sending me out this way. So maybe it wouldn't have been as big of an effect. So probably should have defended the bottom a little bit better. But you know, I don't know. It's hard to say how much differently that would have played out. So I appreciate the apology out of him at least. It's one of the nice times to have that, I guess. Obviously doesn't make the result any better. Although you're talking one spot different. It's not like it was for the win. So not a big deal. I've done it to plenty of people, so it is what it is. It was a really good battle for quite a few laps with them. I'm certainly nowhere near as good under pressure situations as I want to be, but that was it's pretty tough for me to simulate that in practice. So it was nice to have that and get some experience and exposure with that. So yeah, let's go check the results. Hopefully those should be pretty good. So not a bad race at all for a small field. 1656, really weak field. Single splits. Again, only 7 cars. Like they were saying, Road to Pro killed it. I didn't even think about that when I signed up for this one. Probably should have thought about that and got you guys a better time slot. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. We were a little over 10th off on the average lap. Honestly, if we wouldn't have had that contact, I would have been closer than that, and was only a 10th off on the fast lap. So like I said, I think there's a lot more time in the setup than what I showed tonight in this race. I definitely think there's a lot more time. So managed to gain 0.13 in the safety rating, so nice to get a 0x out of it. Especially lucky considering I got in the wall there out of turn for that 1 point. So 3.54 there, and again, with it being such a weak field overall, me finishing where I was supposed to, only 8 on the iRating gains, so just under 2,400. But you know, not all in all, not a bad race. Actually, a lot more fun than I expected it to be. Some moments there with the 4 car. Obviously, he came away with 6 incidents. I don't understand how the 5, the 4, and the 7 had that many, but that's, yeah, okay. I guess that's reflective of iRatings in a sense. So, but yeah, certainly a lot of fun. I've got a lot of driving to improve on. A lot. I've recognized a lot of areas that I need to work on, but there's some that I still feel like I need to spend some more time really, you know, logging laps, telemetry, digging into it, really kind of trying to find inefficiencies or come up with ideas or whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. If I can get enough time to continue practicing this week, may try to get out an Arca and an Xfinity or one or the other or something. I don't know. See what I can do the rest of this week and try to get the late model next week out a little bit earlier. So until then, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.